are the hype levels, boys? I love asking this question because I love the memes it provides. Provide me with memes, please.
I'm waiting for the Reese clapback, but for me, it's absolute maximum for EU and NA East today, and all the other regions around the world that have already finished up. I'm so excited to watch even more grand finals.
Yo, everyone.
Now it's over here.
Rolando Gaming's upload.
This is me currently.
This is Rolando Gaming.
Cloud9.
Everyone, coming
This is
at
me.
you with
This
this
is me
first
over the moon.
highlight video.
And obviously also, my hype levels are still off the charts.
Today's
right
video,
now.
guys, it's about
I have to applaud you,
an
sir. Thank you for
FNCS
providing the
finals
memes. That's what
on
we
Party
live for.
Royale.
Also, big shout out
So
to
enjoy
everyone in Party
the
Royale. If
broadcast
you're
of it.
tuning in here, watching us live, hello. Thank you so much for taking time to hang out with us. We hope you have an incredible time. Use your favorite emotes. Use the paint.
I got
Throw the
something in mind.
tomatoes. All of the above. Just let's have an awesome time. We've got 7 games of EU ahead of us, and it's going to be an incredible time. Now, real quick, let's talk about the broadcast and what you guys can expect as viewers as we're watching throughout the show. We're here in Grand Finals. Now, what got us here? Well, we started things off with an open round qualifier. From there, the top 15 trios pushed on through the heats. There was a 2-day competition, 6 games apiece there, where the top 8 trios then moved on to Grand Finals. However, yesterday, there was a very special wildcard match where one trio, the Victory Royale of game. That trio joined the 32 trios already in Grand Finals, and we kicked off 5 matches yesterday. We are here for the next 7. Shio, at the end of this, there's going to be brand new FNCS champions.
And they'll have that axe of champions as well. It'll be EU, the region that we're watching first. That wildcard match team is performing so well today as well, but at the same time, day 1 was just its own separate thing. Now with day 2, the scores are combined, but there's brand new stories we'll get to watch happen at the end half of these grand finals.
That's right. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, Zeke, Shio, how are these guys earning points? What are they doing to move up and down the leaderboard? Hey, don't even worry. We got you covered. Take a look here. We've got the Victory Royale. It's worth 25 points. There's 33 trios competing, so if a trio can land in 17th or higher, they'll start to earn points for placement. And finally, every single elimination is a point. Now, Reese, we always kind of go back and forth. Where on the spectrum should they fall? You know, we've seen trios like Mongrel, Mitra, and Tayson. They've got that average placement of 3.6, which is basically placing 4th every game. And they've got an average elims of 8.4. So these guys are just far and away balancing this perfectly.
You know, average elims of 8.4 is already above what we see for most teams who win their region. It's usually around like that upper 5s to mid 6s.
Oh, how did
range. So these guys are
Justin just
already
join?
slaying out way harder than the average people who are
he
winning their
left.
region. They have better placement, at average of 3.6.
I'll join him
And they have 2
after.
victory royales out of 5 games. So they've won 2 games out of 5. So these guys are just playing out of their mind. They're managing to balance eliminations with great placement, with also managing to pick up that victory royale, and that's why they're so far ahead in first.
The biggest question will be, can they continue that momentum, right? Can they keep this going across the next 7 games? But not only are they walking away champions, not only will they have a trophy that they can show literally anyone in their lobby, the world, they will also be walking away with a bunch of prize money coming in first place, but also just being able to make it this far, they'll walk away with something. It is going to be an absolutely incredible day for Fortnite. We're going to watch some of the very tippy-top performing trios, some of the craziest action. We're talking some of the craziest play. I'm hoping for some big wow factors, just like, hey, I'm just going to go find an RPG. I'm going to go loot a shark. That's what I want, Shai.
I mean, absolutely, it's Europe, right? So we'll have to have that every single time, and it's always in a new way. No one can really predict, not even Reese, I'm going to say that, when it's in-game stuff that's going down. So I'm excited to see what happens today. It's going to be an absolute blast.
I think I'll predict it. Come on,
Okay.
I think, you know what? Maybe we'll have an RPG rocket launcher elimination thrown in there, something in the mix that'll kind of throw things up. I do expect it. You know what? There is always stuff that comes out of the blue that's always hilarious to watch, be it, you know, vehicles picking up eliminations or anything like that. I hope we do see something good like that today, though.
Bro, you know I'm right there with you. Now, of course, we do have other regions. 7 total regions are participating, and some of these regions have already concluded their games, and we actually already have some FNCS champions. Let's kick things off over in OCE. Congratulations to Jinx, Alec, and Worthy. 244 total points, a victory royale, and 71 eliminations. They will claim the Axe of Champions.
Incredible performance by these three guys, and if anyone knows the OCE region, they should not be surprised. Jinx, Alec, and Worthy have qualified for every single FNCS that we've had so far, the grand finals of it. 6 out of 6. And Jinx has won 3 of those now, making him now a 3-times FNCS champion.
Dude.
And, you know, these guys, again, were balancing that average eliminations replacement. I'd already said earlier that, you know, those average eliminations for the winner was around 5s, and these guys had 5.92 average eliminations. So, again, very, very, very close to kind of what we were seeing and why that's giving us a good indication of Metro's team today on EU performing very, very well.
And over there in second, Repulse Forbes and Sinky Fishy, I believe they won their last game to get all the way to 207 points. So that is amazing for the second place finishers. So many top teams here as well on this page. Carry On, Eshes, and Sorif. These guys coming together in week number 2 as a brand new trio. And after that, just performing so well. Even some high-profile trios like the X2 twins paired with Volks, getting 8th place overall, having a phenomenal day 1, and just being consistent on day 2 to lock in a top 10.
Team that was phenomenal on day 1 is our 7th place team. The user name there is actually Gubos, Tyrax, and Link. These guys had 115 points on the first day, and they were first by quite a large margin, but unfortunately did not perform that well on the second day and kind of pulled all the way down to 7th. So that's what we're talking about. We need to have some of these consistent teams that are performing on day 1 on the regions we're going to watch, need to do the exact same thing here today as well.
That's just OCE's story for the top 10. So many teams played overall entirely across the world. There were more FNCSs playing out in Asia as well. Their FNCS ended, and we have a winner, Reese.
Yeah, we've got Rory, Bob, and Moffin. The names may confuse you a little bit just because they're kind of a little bit off from their actual, but Drazna is Rory, Mogrel is Moffin, and Bob, well, Bob's Bob. And these guys performed very, very well, and there's a little bit of a story behind their previous FNCS because, you know, Bob and Moffin have been playing together for a long time, and Rory and Moffin actually won the Season X FNCS Trios, so they've already been a champion in Trios all the way back in Chapter 1 of Season X. So the first FNCS we ever had, these guys already won it. Coming into their next FNCS, which was Squads, these guys ended up placing 2nd. So they nearly got 2 in a row. They nearly managed to get those 2 championships. And then ever since then, in the Duos, the Invitational, and in the Solo FNCS, they didn't manage to clutch it up. Now they've come back full circle into Trios again and managed to pick up that 2-time FNCS championship.
And still was absolutely.
I'm gonna be here for a little while
on that first page as well. A lot of trios
some
were starting off the very first portion of the FNCS at maybe 20th and 19th,
Is
hitting
Justin
top
on?
5. Like Seek, Peter Pan, and Faxvox. These guys not even playing in the same trio in week number 1, getting 8th place overall once again on
see he's
Asia.
on.
It's just absolutely amazing. These guys are going to be walking
Luke
away
is on,
with so much
Justin.
prize money, split obviously amongst those 3 individuals playing overall. But that was
Yeah,
Asia in
Justin's
total.
on.
There are more trios all across the world who are also fighting out in FNCSs that are only really halfway through.
That's right, and EU is one of those regions. So what we need to do is kind of take a step back, revisit EU standings, and kind of see and paint that picture as what happened yesterday, right? We got to reset this stage because Mongrel, Metro, and Tayson, they just pulled so far out ahead of everyone else. However, there's still a trio right behind them, and that is a previous FNCS champion, Andalex, your previous FNCS Invitational champion, Janice, paired up with Xsqueeze. They're just neck and neck. But you know, guys, I think the biggest, scariest thing is what Reese mentioned earlier, and that is teams that perform on day 1 sometimes can't do the same thing on day 2. So we may see this top 5 be completely different by the end of the day.
And you led into exactly what I wanted to talk about. The fact that these teams up at the top here are going to need to perform the same today. You know, Mongrel, Metro, and Tayson's team performed extremely well. We've kind of already covered how well that they have played in day 1. It's been phenomenal to watch their dominance, but they need to continue that into today's 7 games and really ensure that they stay at that top 1 spot. And Andalex, Janice, and Xsqueeze, although they're 30 points behind, these guys have the capabilities to catch up, no doubt. One bad game from their first place team will make them just catch up so fast, and then there's 6 more games left that they can easily overtake. You know, it's all about consistency across both days.
And Zeke was talking about the competition in Europe being neck and neck. Just look at all the necks on this page, I guess then, right? Like, the competition is so much closer, 63 points to 61 between Kinzel, who started the game in the day off so well with a win, and Flois, Andretta, and Louis. Over there, though, 53 points tied for 8th and 9th place. Our wildcard team in 10th with Nate, Smash Dave, who's Rojo, and Bobo at 51. Any of these guys having a good day can absolutely push forward and get towards that top 5, maybe even contest Mitro, Mongrel, and Taysom themselves.
Do you think that's going to happen? Because you know what? I hope that it does. I hope that we have a team that's currently from 5th all the way down to 15th, maybe even lower, that has this big pop-off day today. And looking at this leaderboard now from 11th to 15th, there are plenty of names here who stick out of teams that can. Actually, you know what? Any one of these teams can. I think the two that are probably favorites would be been popping off all the way through the qualifiers, all the way through the heats, and it's kind of a bit interesting to see them in that 11th to 15th place slot. So today, hopefully they're going to figure out what kind of went wrong yesterday, bring it back, and start climbing up the leaderboards.
Oh, they've reviewed, they've warmed up, and now they're hungry to have an amazing day of 7 games. We'll see how it works. It'll be a long one, but I feel like it might be the best Fortnite we've watched so far.
Oh, yeah, man. 100%. You know all these trios are looking to bring it. Now, don't forget, yesterday, because we have 7 today, we had a matchmaking issue with one of our games, so we pulled that one game over to today, which leads us to looking at 7 games total. This is that added game, I feel like, is going to make a pretty big dynamic change to what we see the final standings look like. Now, we did have some BRs, 5 total yesterday, so we should probably reset those up, right? What happened?
Let's talk about day number 1 in EU. It was Wolfies, CRR, and Kinzel in game. Everyone, how much they've improved as teammates.
Pick up, and you can see that steam carrying over into the ground. Finals with their current 6th place slot and picking up obviously the first victory royale of the day. And moving on to game 2 was Mitro, Mongrel, and Tayson. Now these guys are not shy to eliminations of 2 victory royales for the day.
Oh, your mic.
Victory royales for the day.
I know.
And speaking of 2 victory royales, we're just the number 2 in 2nd place. Andalex, Janice, and X-Squeeze, who is Duck on top, were the individuals to get the game 3 victory royale. They did it back to back. They did it all, basically securing the win alive, making sure everything was perfect, and wrapped it up in such seamless fashion.
And that win by Andalex, Janice, and X-Squeeze was actually 15 eliminations as well, which was the highest we saw out of day 1. So huge game coming out of them. But for game 4 was Blackie Robabs right in that end game. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday in our package, but this end game was focused all around pressure. Just these guys consistently pressure, and a beautiful shot onto Lecce just to finish things off there.
Yeah, Lecce got a little bit of an alley-oop all the way from Blackie at the end of that game. But you were talking about 2 wins. Here's Mongrel, Mitro, and Tayson's 2nd one. And it felt like it got even easier for them as the day went on.
In the heats, pick up a 19 with 9 elims is still absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so that was kind of the first day for EU. A lot of action, some sprays, some team damage too. It was amazing, Zeke.
Bro, watch a little
really
bit.
Could not be more excited.
Man, I'm gonna go back with
you
subs.
guys to watch this. We get to hang out with our casters, everyone at Party Royale, everyone at home. It's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to see the final results. Now, of course, speaking of those results, you guys actually made some predictions. Our casters and our analysts decided which teams they thought would walk away the FNCS champions. Sundown kicked us off. Floki, Clement, and Nikos. Now, right now, these guys are in 5th place. But again, we've got another 7 games on deck. They can turn this around.
Yeah, they can turn this around, and Clement is known to because he's the only player on EU who has actually managed to qualify for every single FNCS. So the only one out of the entire region. So this team has the potential to do extremely well. We know they're consistent. And obviously Floki and Nikos also both very, very consistent players themselves. Moving on to my pick, though. Andalex, Janice, and X-Squeeze. Now, I've predicted these guys a victory in qualifier 3. And I think they're coming back for the 2 times.
Sometimes we're both dancing at the same time.
They are performing very, very well so far. So 7 games left. I believe in my boys.
Okay, I'm going to drop some fun facts about every prediction.
I think Rocket likes this.
I was going to say maybe change the name to Cement or, Cement in general because this guy just sticks in every FNCS no matter what. He is so rock solid when it comes to just being able to play these games all the way out towards the end. Reese, you're also one of the best predictors overall in the FNCS, is always picking first place teams. So I feel like you have the strongest pick here.
You want to leave the event a bit or no?
Tayson has the most strength right now in first place overall. So this man and
Not playing another game.
clutching about 43%
All right,
of these
chat.
guys' points throughout all the games.
I'm gonna go get.
Tomorrow, later, dudes.
Many of these trios.
No, wait, don't
possibility,
end the game
capability,
thing.
turning
I'm not
everything
in the
around,
stream.
right?
I'm
Like,
just.
we've seen Thomas.
When it's all done, because what if
I mean, after the stream, I'm gonna
what if
edit
people
this.
miss
I'm gonna
it though?
I'm gonna edit
Right?
this
It
live
goes around
stream,
and eats it.
and
Any
then
of these teams can
it's
literally
gonna be a highlight
make
video
forward
after the
with them
stream.
above their head. That's why they're here. They're the top 1%. They've made it to grand finals,
I think
and now it's about which team will take advantage of the